Healing is an underrated power. It's incredibly useful, makes up a very important part of a balanced team, and without it, in tough situations, you may find yourself a little bit screwed. That is, if you're a superhero in a fictional world like these guys and gals, of course. So today, we're giving a major shout out to all the healers out there with our list of the top 10 superheroes who can heal. And at number 10, The Flash. Starting off this list isn't just one Flash, it's multiple. Except for Jay Garrick. He doesn't have access to the Speed Force, poor dude. But hey, at least he's got a cool helmet. Anyway, most of the Flash family who do have access to the Speed Force have mastered wielding it and working within it, knowing how to use it to heal themselves. This is because it allows users of the Speed Force to accelerate healing, the same way it accelerates their metabolism and supercharges their brain activities. Speedsters have accelerated healing in general, because, you know, everything moving fast, but the Speed Force just kinda amps that up. And at number 9, Rogue. Rogue is a bit of a wild card on our list. No Gambit pun intended there. She has the involuntary, well, sometimes voluntary, ability to absorb other mutants' powers. This can range from physical strength, superpowers, and even memories. But this also means that Rogue has the ability to pick up powers from anyone she touches, including those who have healing abilities, regardless of whether those abilities can heal others or just regenerate oneself. So if you put her in a fight with anyone on this list, she'd have one hell of an advantage over them, even our top 3. Although for one of them she'd have to get his clothes off, but I don't really see that being an issue for him. More on that later. Moving on. And at 8, The Human Kite. Alright, I know that some of you may be thinking, hey, that does not count. The Human Kite isn't a real superhero. Well, have you played Fractured Butthole? You probably should, because Human Kite is one hell of a help on the battlefield. Also, get a sense of humor. Come on. And at number 7, Raven. Raven first made her debut in comics in 1980 in DC's Comics Presents number 26, created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, the fellows who revitalized the Teen Titans, a group that Raven would later become a vital member of. Raven is an empath, meaning that she can sense and alter the emotions of others. But in the animated version of Raven in Teen Titans, she's shown that she's capable of a few more lesser-known tricks, including the ability to heal herself and others around her, to an extent. And at 6, Angel. Warren Worthington III was one of the initial X-Men, first appearing in X-Men number 1 back in 1963. The character has gone through quite the number of colorful revisions over the years, with the inclusion of a secondary mutation that has popped up fairly inconsistently. But because of that mutation, Angel developed a healing factor which allows him to heal others by mixing his blood with theirs, but only if their blood type matches, so it's kind of inconvenient. But then, when he became Archangel, his wings painfully grew back, meaning he still had that healing ability. And then eventually when he returns to just being Angel, his healing powers are reinstated, but even stronger, with less limitations. So all in all, I guess it got better for Angel. And at 5, Superman. As long as the Man of Steel is exposed to the Earth's sun, he'll be able to regenerate. It's also what keeps him so young and perky. We've even seen him come back from the dead, sort of. In the Death of Superman arc back in 1992, after a grueling succession of awful plot points orchestrated by the editors of DC, Superman died fighting Doomsday, but came back because he apparently went into a Kryptonian coma of sorts. Even when he's at his weakest, like that moment we catch of him in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, he manages to get fuel from the sun's rays, and go on. And at 4, Wolverine. Wolverine's regeneration ability is his most well-known ability aside from, well, you know, the adamantium claws. Those are kind of a big deal. Because of that adamantium and his altered biology, Wolverine is almost an indestructible machine. Any wounds he acquires typically heal immediately, and it takes a whole lot to knock the character down. Even the X-Men films have done an excellent job at showcasing this. And at 3, Deadpool. Deadpool can literally regenerate from being goo, or dust. Kinda gross. While the effects of his regeneration may not be as speedy as Wolverine's, throwing back a whole hand kinda takes a little bit of TLC time, it does make the character invulnerable, even in the face of imminent defeat. He keeps on coming back, like a bad case of herpes. I think you'd appreciate that comparison. In our number 2 spot, Elixir. Elixir, aka Josh Foley, is an Omega-level mutant who first appeared in issue 5, volume 2 of The New Mutants. Generally depicted as a student at the Xavier Institute, his power is biological manipulation, meaning he can control the biological structure of organic matter, including his body and others. Of course, this is limited to being within a certain proximity, but this also means that in battle, he can act as a healer, and a hell of a good one at that. At one point, the Stepford Cuckoos telepathically copied and pasted the extensive knowledge of anatomy, biology, and genetics from Beast into his brain, which ups his healing abilities significantly, and allowed him to cure pretty much anything. He also died and then was resurrected, and since then, his character can bring others back from the dead, so that's kinda neat too. And finally, in our number 1 spot, the Hulk. If you've watched any of our Versus videos, you'll know that the Hulk is pretty much unbeatable. Sure, there's a few people who can subdue him or manage to outpower him, keyword few, but you can't deny that over the years, the hulking green monster that is Bruce Banner's angrier half has been subjected to a bit of overpowering. For those of you unfamiliar with his arsenal of capabilities, the Hulk is shown to survive nuclear attacks, has limitless strength influenced by his emotional state with no finite element inside of him, and radiation only gets him stronger. He can regenerate, healing from wounds within a matter of seconds, has adaptive healing abilities like of growing tissues that let him breathe underwater, can survive in space unprotected for periods of time, and his future self, Maestro, was capable of regenerating after being blown to dust. So yeah, pretty invincible. Alright, there we have it, friends. What other heroes should we have included on this list? And what heroes do you wish had the ability to heal? Let us know in those comments below. If you dug this video, please show some love by hitting those like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget to check out some of our other nerdy videos, like the ones in our recently uploaded playlist flashing on your screen right this minute. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I've been Kelly Pally, and this has been Top 10 Nerd. Catch you all in the next one.